The Drummer Who Lost His Beat, written by Stephanie Bloom, illustrated by Joe Keelan. Pete played the drums in the town marching band. His hands were amazing, the best in the land. He knew every note, he hit every beat, never leaving a rhythm, one stroke incomplete. One day at practice, a strange thing occurred. From the band's finest drummer, an error was heard. The drum major scowled and began to protest. No more mistakes from the best of the best. As practice continued, Pete's drumming got worse. He desperately hoped he could break this dark curse. The drum major ordered the band to a halt. The parade is tomorrow. There's no room for fault. I'm sorry, said Pete. I don't know what's wrong. I can't stop from drumming notes not in the song. The drum major cautioned, you must make a choice. You are part of a group that shares one common voice. Pete's brow oozed with sweat. His face flushed beet red. You can count on me, sir, he nervously said. When the ranks took the field, Pete seemed A-OK. To his beat the band marched, to his beat they did play. But all of a sudden Pete's hands turned to lead. The beat disappeared from his sticks and his head. At Pete's offbeat drumming, the crowd seemed amused, but the band's ears were baffled. Their feet were confused. And then what took place on that first day of June was a crashing catastrophe that played out of tune. The 10 mighty tubas hit the trombones, who trampled the trumpets and bumped the baritones. The saxes were smashed by the tumbling brass, who fell on the flutes in a big, mangled mass. When the chaos died down and the dust all cleared, Pete stood there alone as the crowd booed and jeered. Take a hike. Get lost. The drum major huffed. He was ready to blow. Would he keep Pete around or tell him to go? He shook his baton and continued to shout. You are out of my band. Leave at once. Just get out. Pete's heart was now broken. The band was his home. Feeling lonely and lost, he just started to roam. After walking for hours, Pete boarded a bus and sat down by an old sax man named Gus. Hey there, sad cat. Free your face from that frown. Tell Gus your troubles. What's got you so down? I've lost my beat, Pete said, hanging his head. I woke up one day and my rhythm was dead. Just relax, Daddy-O, I know what to do. I went through the same thing too. My beat fooled me. Please help me right now, pleaded Pete from his seat. A drummer is useless who can't keep the beat. Come to my gig and I'll play you a song that will soon have your drumsticks rolling along. So Pete followed his friend to a funky jazz den. where Gus and the Groove were performing at 10. The crowd snapped their fingers to get the mood jumping. The house lights grew dim. Pete's heart started pumping. "Welcome," Gus said. "Are you ready to jam?" Slapping the strings is our bass player, Sam. The velvety voice of Miss Eloise accompanies Tom, who tickles the keys. Hitting the skins is our hip drummer, Max. Gus pointed to Pete. "This song is for you. The words are important. They'll give you a clue." With a wave of his hand and 3 taps from the snare, the sound of cool jazz filled the hot, hazy air. Verse number 1's got a smooth, mellow flow. Verse number 2's got a toe-tapping groove. Your beat never left, it just made a slight move. Verse number 3's got a bouncy new sound. Play from your heart and your beat will be found. Full of courage and hope, Pete seemed to want to go to the street, drumming all kinds of music to get back his beat. Jinxed in Jamaica, nixed in Nashville, playing reggae and country, jazz, rhythm, and blues, Pete's skills as a drummer continued to snooze. Cut in Chicago, lost in Los Angeles. From rock to the classics, Pete kept trying more, but all he heard back was our eardrums are sore. Many months passed. Pete's future looked dark, so he sat himself down on a bench in the park. "I can't find my beat." Gus's song was a lie. With no hope in sight, Pete started to cry. Tears gushed from his eyes, as if they'd sprung leaks, leaving salty, wet trails down his nose and his cheeks. They rolled down to his chin and then onto the grass where a big pool of tears had begun to amass. Over all his loud sobbing, Pete soon heard the sound of tear after tear dripping onto the ground. Drip, 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 drop, drop, drip, 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 drop. These tears had a tempo, a musical flow, and Pete joined the rhythm by tapping his toe. Drip, 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 drop, drop, drip, 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 drop. A look of excitement spread over his face. His foot was in sync. He was keeping the pace. Like a rocket at takeoff, Pete sprang to his feet. I can snap. I can tap. I've found my lost beat. Without hesitation, Pete grabbed his 2 sticks and naturally drummed the most awesome of licks. His cadence was perfect, his notes were exact, and a crowd slowly gathered to hear his new act. They soon began dancing and chanting, "Encore!" So Pete took a deep bow and kept drumming some more. Pete shouted with joy. Gus was right all along. It's time to branch out, time to drum my own song. His long search was over. He made a fresh start. Pete would now always follow the beat in his heart. The end.